Welcome to Crack-A-Pack. My name's Andrew. Today we're cracking open Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Let's get cracking. Our first card today is Goblin Javelineer, followed by Paladin's Shield. Next, the Scaled Herbalist, Gloomstalker, Scion of Stygia, Hoarding Ogre, Feign Death, You Hear Something on Watch, Air Cult Elemental, Dungeon Crawler, Wizard Class, Burning Hands, Zorn, You Find the Villain's Lair with a foil treatment, Our Land is a Swamp, and then we have the Tomb of Annihilation with the Atropal on the back. So again, we have the Swamp, then You Find the Villain's Lair in foil, which is actually a really nice common. For 1/2 blue, you either counter a spell or draw 2 cards and discard 2. It's not the best value, but it is okay. I mean, just the counter target spell, and it's any spell, is great. That's about on par cost-wise with other counters that are just blanket counter anything. They typically are, I think they're around, it's either 1 and 2 blue, or maybe it's 2 and a blue, typically is around where you see it, where it's just counter anything. If it's, and with no downside, if it's counter and your opponent can pay to prevent the counter, or counter only this specific, like only counter target creature, counter a non-creature spell, whatever, it's typically less, but it's because it's less specific, or there's a way around it for your opponent. So, I mean, for that ability, this feels good. For draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, I think that's a little high on the cost. I don't think you would really be using this card for that. I would expect you to really be using this more for the counter. Next we have Zorn. If you would create 1 or more treasure tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional treasure token. So just getting more and more treasure tokens, which is effectively just generic mana, which is great. This plus the Hoarding Ogre, which I know I've pulled a few of those in this series so far. So Zorn plus a Hoarding Ogre, you're generating 2, 3, or 4 treasure tokens every time the Hoarding Ogre attacks instead of 1, 2, or 3, which immediately is great, even just getting 2 instead of 1. But if you wind up getting 4 instead of 3, that's going to feel great too. And obviously there's other ways to take advantage of this, like Deadly Dispute, which creates treasure tokens. Getting an extra treasure token off of that is just even more upside. So paying 2 and a red for a 3/2 with a lot of upside for treasure generation is great. Next we had Burning Hands, then Wizard Class, Dungeon Crawler, Air Cult Elemental, You Hear Something on Watch, Feign Death, Hoarding Ogre, like I was just talking about, the Scion of Stygia, Gloomstalker, Scaled Herbalist, Paladin's Shield, and Goblin Javelineer. That's all for today. Thank you for cracking along with me. Be sure to check back tomorrow as we crack open another pack.